Pray for assurance, everything's gonna be alright. Lord, I see another battle out in front of me. I'm afraid I won't be able, and I'll go down in defeat. He said, "Do you remember where I brought you from? Just take a look behind you and how far you've come. Every time you have asked me, didn't I love you? So why would you be thinking that I wouldn't see you through?" He said, "I walked on the water, and I calmed the raging sea." Didn't I run to your rescue? Didn't I give you all right beside you, just so you would fall? Didn't I leave all of heaven just to die for your sin? First until I found you, and I'd do it all again. Now she's talking to her father in a house that was once a home. She said, "My bills are coming due, Lord, and 6 days is not that long." She hears a voice so still and low that says, "I've moved like that before. Now I'll do this little thing, and I'll give you so much more." And he said, "I walked on the waters, and I calmed the raging sea. I spoke to the wind, it hushed, and I gave you peace. Didn't I run to your rescue? Didn't I hear you when you called? I walked right beside you, just so you wouldn't fall. Didn't I leave all of heaven just to die for your sin? I searched until I found you, and I'd do it all again."
I'm very thankful to be here this morning. I hope that you all would just pray for me for a few minutes of time, and I'll shortly get out of the way. This is a very fearful and a hard place to stand, because I know that if the Lord wouldn't look down and bless me here, that I couldn't do or say anything to help anyone. But when the Lord begins to bless me, there ain't nothing that I'd rather do in this world than to stand right here. As we begin to read our little prayer list this morning, this little memorial list right here, you all just pray. Why it just shows us today that why we are all headed one way. Why the way you step here in this world. Why ready or not is coming to each and every one of us here today. Why we're all going to have to go on and leave this world here. Why, but I'm glad today that me, Father. Lord, just come and take me home, oh Lord. Why, you know, as we began to ask prayer for my fiance this morning here, she wanted to be with us today, but she had to work there at the hospital yesterday and today, but she wanted to come today. You know, as I went to ask her to marry me just the other day. Why, not too long ago, and I just began to place that ring upon her finger right there. No doubt I thought, well, I'm going to be with her now for the rest of my life. I'm going to be able to walk right by her side, and when troubles come, Brother Brian, when they begin to come, I'll be there. Why, and I'll be able to help her, and I'll be able to protect her. You know that then, why she couldn't come with us because she had to work. But eating last night, I got a little phone call. She began to call me, and she said, I'm down here, I'm in the emergency room now. She said I passed out a couple times, my heart rate just shot up so high. She said they're going to keep me here for a few days. You know, my heart began to break, you know. Why? Because the first thing that comes along, and I'm not there. I'm not there to help her. I'm not there to protect her now. What have I done? But ain't you glad today that when the troubles begin to come, when problems begin to come, why, all you gotta do is call on the name of my Lord. Why, he'll be there. Why, he'll be there before you can even begin to pray. You see, why, that's a God that we serve today. A God who hears us always. A God who will walk in front of us. Why, lead us and guide us here. That's the God that I want to tell you about today. You know, why, as I was reading one time, why the old Roman soldiers, they had come to get my Lord one day. They come to take him away. You see, in Jesus, he was standing there, and his disciples all around him right there. And when they came, it says that Peter, he took out his sword, and he was ready to fight that day. When the soldiers came, it says he took that sword, and he sliced off the ear of one of them soldiers right there. But then, I love what my Lord did. And he said, Peter, put up your sword. Why, do you not know, Peter, why, that I could call my Father? Why, he could send me more than 12 legions of angels. Why, they would fight for me. He said, Peter, you just put up your sword. We don't need that, you see. Why, Jesus, he knew what was coming. And he knew that he had another battle on down the road that he was going to have to fight right there. But you know, as I began to read that, I thought, well, did Peter not know who he was standing next to right there? Did he not even know the battles that this man had already won? You can go back through this old Bible right here and begin to read and see all the battles that he'd already won. No how, no Moses went down to free his people there, God's people in Egypt. He went out there to get them, and when he began to lead them out of that old troublesome land, as they began to run from old Pharaoh's army right there, they began to chase after them that day. They come to that Red Sea right there. No doubt many of them were thinking, well, we're as good as dead now. We're trapped now. We've got the enemy behind us. We've got this great see in front of us here. What are we going to do with them? Why, I'm glad that my Lord was there. I'm glad that my Lord, He was there that day. Why, when almost us began to raise His staff towards heaven's land. Why, my Lord, He blessed them. He blessed those waters apart right there. Moses, He took those children. Why, He took them right across that sea on dry ground. Is what this Bible says. Why, that when no Pharaoh and his army, they began to chase after them. Why, across that sea right there. It says when they came again, my Lord, He blessed those waters to come back together right there. And they drowned that old army right there that day. You see, my Lord, He's won many a battles here. Why, many times when we didn't even think He was there He was. You see, no doubt when old David began why, to run out to a valley one time to face an old big giant right there. He thought, well, the people, they could have thought that he was crazy. Why, what's this little man thinking now? Going out to fight this big giant here. Even why, when David began to go out to him, why, the giant, he laughed at him. He said, what is this that you sent out against me? Why, I'm glad here. You see, am I not greater than this? Why, he thought that it was crazy there. But I love what old David said to that giant there. He began to say, well, you come at me with a sword and with a shield here. But this day, why, I come to you in the name of the Lord. You see, people today, when you go, why, we need to go in the name of the Lord. Because, why, if He before us, then who could be against us here? You see, He is the one that holds all things. Why, right in the palm of His hand. I don't know about you today. Why, but I'm going to put my trust in Him. No matter what comes before me here. I'm just going to look to the Lord and say, God, you take me, Lord, where you want me to go, you see. And my Lord, He blessed old David to go out there and kill that giant in front of both those big armies standing around. Why, my Lord, He made His presence known that day. You see, but it doesn't stop there, because there was another time when Israel, they were warring with the Syrians there. You see, why, that old Syrian king, he began to get angry, and he said, why, who is telling them what we're doing? Because Israel, they knew everything, why, that Syrian army was going to do, and where they were going to before they even went, you see. And so he began to get angry, and he said, who's going down there and telling them our plans, you see? And they said, oh, king, it's none of us here. They got an old prophet down there by the name of Elisha. They said, why, God is with him. Why, God is telling him what we're going to do and when we're going to do it here. So that old king, he thought, well, let's go get this man. Why, we'll take care of this problem here. And so they began to go. They found out where he was at down here in a little valley here, mountains all around him. On one morning, it said that Elisha, the servant, he walked outside and he began to get afraid. He got so afraid and he looked around. He said, my Lord, Elisha, why, he said, we're in trouble now. And so Elisha came outside and he said, don't you see they've got us surrounded? As they began to look all around the mountains, all they seen was soldiers all around said, we ain't got nowhere to go now. Why? Because they found us. They surrounded us. What are we going to do? But Elisha, he began to pray right there. He didn't pray for them old soldiers to go away. That's not what he prayed for right there. That's not what he was looking for. But when he began to pray, look towards heaven's land, he began to say, oh God of heaven, Lord, would you let my servant see what I see, Lord? God, would you open his eyes this morning, Lord? Why then the next time he began to look around, he's still seeing all them soldiers all around them. Why behind each one of them? Why he seen the angels that God sent that way. You see, that's the way my Lord works today. Oh, Peter, put up your sword. Peter, we don't need that sword today. You see, that's not the way my Lord fights here. All he's got to do is speak the word and it's done. Why command and it stands. That's my God I'm looking to today. He don't need why these swords that we see all around here. Why he can win the battles without it today. But it's still, it don't stop right there. Why my Lord, he had another battle out in front of him. You see, some old soldiers, they took him away that day. They began to beat him, mock him, spit on him. They crucified him that day. They took him, they hung him on an old rugged cross. You see, they humiliated him. No doubt they didn't know that. Why when they put him on that cross, they hung him between the heavens and the earth. Did they not know that? That's right where he needed to be, brethren. Why? That's where he wanted to be for you today and for me. And so they hung him there. Why? I'm glad that about that 6th hour. Why he was hanging there. Why he looked towards heaven. Why it says that he gave up his life. He died right there on that cross. And so they took him and they laid him in a little tomb. No doubt many people, they thought, well, it's over now. All our hope is gone now. That's the way they were looking at him, you see. Why did they not remember what this man had told them before this? He'd already told them why that he had to go all the way to the grave. Why, but he was only going to be there 3 days. Did they not remember that? Because it seemed that all hope was lost, you know. Why, my Lord, he knew that he still had that one more battle ahead of him. Why he went all the way to the grave right there. Why on that 3rd morning. Why, my Lord, he came back up out of there. You see, my Lord, he became why he was the victory that day. He overcame death, hell, and the grave right there. Why, my Lord, he won the victory there. On the last battle right there. On the last battle before. Why he went on to heaven's land. Why, but he's still fighting our battles for us today. Why, if we would just look at him, you know. Why, as we look at this old prayer list here, we see sickness all around us. We see heartache all around us here. You know, and it makes me think, why thou mama, papa, mine. Why you see, papa, he. Why 2 years ago they said, well, he's got cancer. And he won't live through 2 more years. Why, but 2 years past us. This last April here. Why, he don't even show any signs of cancer anymore. Why, you see, that's the way the doctors look at things. That old man, mama, she wasn't supposed to live. I looked at him a little more, you see. Why, but no doubt even my Lord, he could have took them away from me. He could have called them on. Why, no doubt, why everyone would be so sad when I'm glad. Why that I would be able to stand up and say, well, that's all right because I'll see you again. Why, because they left that hope behind. That hope is Jesus Christ today. You see, I was talking to a man that I work with just the other day, and he began to talk to me a little bit. He told me a little story. He said, you know, I have little niece here, and she's special needs here, and so him and his family, they took her somewhere to go on a little bike ride. He said, and when they got there, that little girl, she had gotten away from the family on that bike, and she had took off, and she was going awful fast. He said, she was out of reach to them now, and he said she was headed straight towards this big drop off here, and he said if she would have went over that, it would have killed her, no doubt. He said it would have easily killed her right there, and he said so we all began to get afraid. We began to scream and holler at her, but she just kept going. She wouldn't listen to us. He said we took off running after her. He said but we couldn't catch her. She was too far ahead of us. And he said they were all so scared that she was going to go straight over the hill. But she was pedaling that bike right there. He said that he seen a man come out of nowhere. Right beside of her, and he said this old man, he grabbed her bike and he just laid her down so that she would stop. And he said we just kept on running over there. And he said and we got to her, and then me and his cousin, I guess it was, he said we just picked her back up. He said and I looked up to thank that man. He said and there was nobody there. But he said I knew that I seen someone. He was running right beside of her, and he just laid her down, and they took the little girl back to the women that was standing over there. And they said, did you all not see that man who laid her down? And they said, there was no man over there. She just fell over right there because they didn't see anyone, you know. Why this world today, they want to say, your God's not real, your God's not alive today, because they want to say because we can't see him. You prove to me that he's real. Why then I'll believe you. You see, that's the way the world looks at it today. But I'm so glad, dear. Why that I may not see him with this natural eye all around me. But I'm glad I can feel him down in my heart. Just like when we looked at old Thomas one day. Thomas, why you believe? Why because you've seen? But Thomas, blessed are those who have not seen yet. They do believe him.
Yeah.
You see, we can't see him with this natural eye, but I can feel him down in my heart. And if you're here today and you don't know the Lord, you don't have to take my word for it, because he said, come and taste of me and see that I am good. So come and taste of him for yourself, and you will see. I'm going to get out of the way and let these brothers come and close it out, but I'm thankful to be here. You brothers, come on.